What is up, guys? Half Slap Bacon back with another episode of our 1.9, 1.10 survival tutorial. So, guys, today we're gonna start draining that ocean monument. Oh, yeah. So, what am I doing out here? Well, those of you that have watched long enough or have gone back and watched the videos would recognize that we are in the swamp biome out near our cedar village. That's part of the reason I chose that. And if you're curious, guys, go back to the episode Villager and Flowers. Can't remember what number it is. And why are we out here? Well, because, guys, I want to put our ocean monument inside a giant fishbowl so we can see the outside ocean. And you know, there are some clear glass textures out there that you can get rid of those ugly white squiggly lines with, but here on our survival tutorial, because we use the snapshots, and, you know, so it's easy for you guys to replicate anything I do, we roll straight up Minecraft vanilla survival, baby. And that regular clear glass looks like crap, guys, underwater. Too much white. Too much white. I mean, the clear part's great, but too much white. So if you're going to do it with just the regular glass, I would highly recommend looking into a clear glass texture to apply, because otherwise it just doesn't look good. Now, the best color is actually blue. That's right, straight up blue. But if you guys think, look at me. If you guys think that I'm going to use all my hard-earned lapis to make blue stained glass for a project that big, you're nuts! You're nuts! No way, man. That stuff's too valuable for our enchanting. So that's why I was out here, because I'm sure most of you know that getting flowers via bone meal is biome dependent. So when you come out into a swamp and bone meal, you get blue orchids. What you may or may not know is with blue orchids, bam! You get light blue dye. I'm not going to use 2+ stacks of lapis blocks. That's right, I said lapis blocks. We don't need these. I'm not going to use 2+ stacks of lapis blocks, guys. That was a little buggy. To do my glass. It's just not going to happen. Even though the blue looks the best because you can't see the lines or the borders or anything. Light blue will see the lines and the borders, but you can actually see through it just a little bit better and see the water outside. So it's a good compromise. I like how the blue looks completely invisible. However, you know, there's no way, guys. Not using all that lapis. No story how. So I'm just gonna head back to the monument, and I'll see you there. Alright, guys. So we're in a world I custom created here. All I did was I went into the custom options and I selected deep ocean as my biome, so it would spawn me near a deep ocean, and I set the sea level to 38. Why 38? Well, because I wanted to clear up the confusion that seems to be on YouTube about the ocean monument spawning area. So you can see I've marked a glass bounding box around this ocean monument. Why 38? Well, if you would look, if we pop into F3 here, you would notice that when I come stand directly on this block, we are at Y39. 38 typically is the floor of the ocean monument. And as you can see, just to prove it to you guys, option, difficulty is on normal. Heck, let's kick it up to hard. And you will notice nothing, guys. No spawns underneath the ocean monument. Now, we can swim away if we want. I put depth strider on my boots and respiration, all that. for the purpose of this. As a matter of fact, guys, if you want a cheaty way of conquering ocean monuments without ever having to actually do all the work we're doing in standard survival, this is how. Just create a world with sea level at 38. Because it's right below the ocean monuments. This ocean monument spawned in this world exactly as is without the bounding box. And you will notice there's no mobs of any kind inside whatsoever, because within an ocean monument, the only thing that can spawn is the Guardians. Now, these will spawn in with the Elder Guardians in place. I switched the world to peaceful once already, after I just, did some testing to confirm everything for this video. So our Elder Guardians are gone. But if you spawn in at normal or hard difficulty, the 3 Guardians will be the only thing present. So as you can see, we can move away, we can move back, and there is nothing spawning there. And that's why I wanted to do this, was just to clear things up, guys, because there seems to be a lot of confusion on this. I've only ever seen one group get this right, and that is the Zip Crowd crew, who actually looked into the code, and credit goes to them for looking into the code to find it out exactly. So when I said they only spawn within the ocean monument, it is literally from the corner of each ocean monument, specifically 1 block out, this bounding box, which stops here, 1 block above the top of the structure, and ends 1 block below. So you can see that if we go under here and we go like so, oh, not that one. That wrecks the purpose of our, and we move away a little. You'll see we're not getting any spawns. Why? Because it's below the ocean floor. Now, if we go like this, on the outside of the bounding box, it's at the ocean floor. You'll also notice we're not getting any spawns. Why? Because they actually require a couple blocks to spawn in. They don't have to be source blocks, but they do have to be multiple blocks. So even like that, because there's only 1 block above the ocean floor, we're seeing no spawns. However, if we go up here, and this is the important part, we're gonna start right at the corner here and lay some water down, and let's travel out this way so you can get a side view of when they spawn in. Notice where they're spawning? Within the bounding box and inside, where the ocean monument corners actually are. Not on the outside. So all the stuff on YouTube you see about having to go 2-3 blocks out and all the way down to the bottom is completely ridiculous. You need to go as far as the ocean monument floor and around the structure itself up to 1 block above. Coincidentally, 1 block above, if we look, happens to be at Y61, where normal sea level happens to be at Y63, 2 blocks above. So if you strictly clear out the area around the structure up to sea level, you have exactly enough spawn space if you put your water source blocks right up at the top at sea level. You have exactly enough space to get both your guardian spawns and our good old lovely friends that drop squid ink. And you're gonna want the squid spawning. You're gonna want the squid ink. Hi, guy. Haha. Go for a swim. Because in order to make dark prismarine, you need squid ink. So, this is why, in our world, I've shown you that we are sectioning off this area. Because nothing spawns in it outside of Elder Guardians. All the tutorials where you see them come all the way down here, now you have to worry about lighting all this up to make sure no creepers get in. What we're going to do effectively is just run right underneath. Nothing can spawn within those sections except Guardians. So your only concern after that, once you have these walls around this bounding box, is farming your Guardians. So guys, I hope that clears the matter up. I just wanted to show you because there is a lot of misinformation on the subject out there on the YouTubes. So now you've seen it for yourself, and I showed you a cheaty way to never have to do all this work. Back to the video, we're going to clear out the water. Alright guys, so while you were enjoying that lovely demonstration on the Ocean Monument bounding box, I was getting my butt back here and crafting up some light blue stained glass. Now, I've shown this before, but we'll quickly show it again. So I've got a double chest full of sand. I have a bunch of our flowers, and I've taken all the glass that's already smelted. Now, in the back, facing the back, I've got hoppers full of blaze rods, so it just keeps going and going and going. I could put a chest above that and fill it up, but this will go long enough to fill our needs. I've also got a ton of sand. We're going to cover clearing out the center today as well. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to get naked. That's right, we're going to get naked. So let's take off our gear here and put that away, because we're going to go underwater, and the first thing we're going to do in our efforts to close this thing off is we're going to close in the bottom, and you'll see why when we get down there. So I've got our outside wall completed, and the next step is really to get our inside wall completed. But before we do that, I want to fill in the bottom. So, you know, we're not wasting unnecessary space doing that. So we're not wasting unnecessary space filling in below sea level. Why would we be doing that, you say? Well, because there is an opening down here, right? That's right. There is an opening. Why am I taking damage? From what? I'm gonna die. Okay guys, lesson learned. Don't forget to drink your water breathing potions. Oh well, gotta derp up every once in a while, right? So the reason I went with the invisibility and all that fun stuff, I've got everything, yeah, I've got everything, is because I want to get the underside of the thing done first. And the reason why is because you'll see over here where our sand came down, these guys can swim down here, right? Like, see, they're targeting us right now because we're getting close. Whoa. So I'm going to try and get this done, and then I'll be right back. Well, guys, I ended up dying again despite having the invisibility potions, because there was just so many of them down here. So I went back and I got another round of potions because, you know, I pretty much used up my water breathing and invisibility. Just getting the bottom closed up and dying again. So this time, because I had to go back after death, I decided I would be SMRT about it, and I actually went back after I got my items and ran back so that the chunks loaded, you know, the 128 distance, because running from spawn gets us there. So now there's no more of them underneath because they all despawned and the new spawns are stuck up there. That's right, you guys. You can't see me. You can suck it. Haha, suck it. So all I'm doing now is getting started on the outer rim while I still have the water breathing potions. Once that's done, the rest is pretty easy. And realistically, once we have the center hollowed out, I can place the rest of the glass blocks as we break the actual monument floor, right? So really, it's just the glass walls I'm concerned about. Why am I doing this before we fill in the inside? Well, because as we fill in the inside, that sand wall here, I'm actually going to break that as we go along so that I can reuse some of the sand so that we're not eating all of it up just doing the inside water part, and I can actually keep some smelting and continue with all our wonderful glass for our beautiful fishbowl. So yeah, is it almost that time? It is almost that time. I'm gonna get this done, guys, and I'll BRBs. Alright guys, so while I'm waiting on glass smelting, what I've been doing is just kind of filling in the cross sections here. So what you want to do this efficiently is a 5x5 section of water. So I've run down one side, and every 6th block I've been putting this repeater setup down. Obviously the 2 blocks is because you can't redstone over glass. And then as it finishes, I've just been dropping my sand and moving on to the next part. When I go to get more sand, I've also been grabbing more glass and slowly filling in my cross sections. And this is important because what we want to do is once we have our cross sections finished, when we come up with the sponges and we start emptying everything out, we're going to want to take the sand with us onto the next section. Because to give you an idea, I've brought, I don't know, 6 or 7 or something like that, double chests of glass sand down already. Like, it's very, very easy to go through a ton of sand, so you don't want to have to fill the whole thing in, seeing as you're going to be smelting tons of glass the whole time as well. I hear a zombie. There must be a cave down here. So I'm not bothering with potions now that, like, we have no, guardians bothering us naturally. Instead, I'm just keeping an eye on my oxygen. And when it starts to get low, doing the old torch on the wall trick, in case you hadn't seen it before, to get more oxygen. You can also use a bucket of water. I never do that one. I've been a torch guy forever. A door works as well. There's lots of little tricks. But yeah, the torch on the wall one's my favorite. Dude, get out the way. I'm trying to glass this in. So I'm primarily not worried about doing a whole wall right now. I'm just kind of getting, trying to get the one side that I've been running the sand all the way down on and this first corner complete so that I can start sponging eventually. Just kind of working one section at a time, and away we go. So, whoops, that's not what I meant to use. As you can imagine, I've been at this a while. It's a time-consuming process, and I'm going to be at it a while longer. We're definitely not getting it all done today. But I am going to get enough done that I can show you how to clear at least one section out with a sponge. So I'm going to keep at her and probably take a break for a coffee or something in the very near future. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what's up. Alright guys, so the couple sections are done, and the glass is done far enough out, and that's about all I recommend you doing, guys, is like 2 chunks worth of the 5 out and enough glass just to get past each section. You can see this back wall is completed. And I forgot to mention earlier, as you're going out into the center of these to pillar out some more, you notice how I've cut out spots in each section. When you're in an area working with your stuff, your pistons, you're going to want to make sure some of the blocks are punched out of the way, so should you get shot into one of these, you actually have a way out. It's kind of critical. You don't want to be scrambling. Should one of these have 4 or 5 guys in it, you don't want to be scrambling trying to break a block to get out. So you want to make sure each square has at least some of it right at sea level. So as you can see, how I go from here is, you'll notice I got just past that row, and then I went out another 12 because the piston pushes 12 blocks, right? Well, we're doing 7 blocks out to here, and another 6 is 13, and then we're pretty much going to continue the same way all the way around, right? You're going to need enough room for 13 blocks of wall coverage on each side as you expand out. So in order to, give the smelter time to work on all these areas, that's kind of how I play that out, is I start with the first couple of chunks. By the time you get these done, you're ready for a break anyways, and you can let your smelter continue and get caught up. Now, what we're going to want is we're going to want our furnace eye stacked and a whole bunch of our sponges. And I'll show you how to start working these down. So if you go with your 5x5, guys, you should be able to just drop 1 in each center and get down like that. And then what you're going to want to do, you can go about it however way you want, but this is why I like to glass out the outside, is you're going to want to keep going down and just continue. And those actually should have, I messed up there with that one. You're supposed to put them at the height of the source block, so that was my bad. You're going to want to keep going out at the height of the source block and just keep pillaring down and removing the water. And this is why I said bring a bunch of and you're not going to want to do that, because then the guys shoot you in the face. So real quick, let's get our shovel out. This is why it never hurts to have an efficiency 4 shovel with you. And let's get back to safety. Dude, stop it. I'll punch you in the penis. And you're just going to kind of work your way down like this. Nice and simple. Now, this used to be a directional thing, and we'll test it with the next one to see if it still is. Having your shield on you at this point in time probably wouldn't hurt, but you can see if we go right at kind of water level, we're able to get all those blocks. And because we put that glass wall on the outside, we're also able to reclaim some sand as we're doing this too. And you may notice now that my lovely cobblestone in the corners is starting to make sense. That's right. It's so I don't actually accidentally take out that corner, because last time I checked, we can't put ladders on glass, but we can put it on cobblestone. Now, because I had 60 of these, I really lucked out here, guys. Now that that guy's visible, let's just shoot his face to death. Dude, take an arrow to the melon. Pretty simple, all in all. And then you're able to drop down Reclaim all your sand. Grab whatever Jerkface dropped. Spend a sponge. Spend a sponge. And of course, we are going to want to get our sponges back and drop them into our oven so we don't run out of sponges. This is very important. So, how I like to do that, guys, is now that I have my ladder, I can start building... Oh, can't do it with the shovel. Start building a ladder up to the top. And then now, as we work out, I've always got a ladder back up. And you can do that at each corner. You can keep it at one corner. I usually just keep it at one corner, so I'm crafting less ladders. Now, of course, if you're using an efficiency 5 shovel like me, you kind of want to try and take care not to break all your stuff and things. Because, of course, if we accidentally pierce through this wall, what's going to happen is we're going to bleed a bunch of water in here, and we're going to have to drain it again. So you want to be pretty careful and work your way towards the cobblestone always. And then just get the rest when you get to the bottom. But doing it this way usually allows me enough reach to get all my sponges on the way down. And we're reclaiming sand for the smelter and for the next round. Now, once I've got all these guys, I won't even bother pillaring down anymore. I mean, you know me. You know how I roll. I've always got my feather falling on. And then we can just do the easy route. Nice and simple. Ooh, my timing's off a little bit here. And as mentioned before, we can't get any mobs spawning down here other than the Guardians. So you don't have to worry too much about light. So you can just throw one wherever you want for enjoyment's sake. Now you get to check out how the light blue glass looks, guys. Not too bad. I mean, the plain blue matches the water so good you don't even see these lines or your little specks in there, which is really, really nice. But it's also really dark, so you can't see really much of anything going on the outside at all. So there's that side of it. But, oh, if you're playing in survival, take it how you like it, guys. For me, there's no way I'm spending that much lapis on a project like this, because lapis is just too damn valuable for that. You know, you need it for enchanting. So let's see if this is directional still. No, it doesn't appear it is. Used to be a thing that you pretty much always wanted to go east-west. Oh, maybe it is, guys. It is. It's still directional. So you want to make sure you're facing east-west. Well, make sure you're facing north or south, and you're placing them on the east or west, because that's what went wrong there. I wasn't sure if they had fixed that or not. And, as I mentioned, you're going to want to keep that chest going right next to your smelter, so you've got room to store all the extra sand you have. And you can kind of just keep going, guys, just like so. Drop your sand in so you're not filling up your inventory too much. Throw a few spongi in. And get back at her. And of course, my smelter in the basement with the glass is still working away. I made sure she's good and full. So by the time I get clearing all this, I should be ready to glass up the next section. And I can pillar this out and we'll be laughing. Now, of course, I've pretty much run out of flowers at this point. So I'm going to have to go, bone meal some more. But truth be told, I think I'm done for the day anyways, guys. I might clear this out and call it a day and do a little more off camera next time because this is not a task to be tried to accomplish in a week or two. So, I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button to help others like you that might appreciate this content find the channel. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for more Minecraft and Ark Survival Evolved. And also new stuff here or there too, because why the heck not, right? Thanks for watching. Bye.